Deal or no deal? Your Honor, counsel, members of the jury, I would like to thank you for your being here today to address this very important case. Earlier, my co-counsel, Nick Rodriguez, pointed out to you all of the overwhelming amount of evidence that we have in prosecuting Chase Covington. Today, you have seen through witness testimony, expert testimony, and physical evidence that Chase Covington accepted a bribe. And what we have here today is Chase Covington, a well-known member of the Midlands Gambling Commission and a well-known member of the community. Chase Covington is someone in whom the public trusted, someone who should have been objective in granting casino licenses. However, Chase Covington was not objective, was not trustful in doing so, but instead, Chase Covington accepted a bribe where he jeopardized his public office for his own personal, selfish gain. We have heard from several of our witnesses that can tell you that this indeed has happened. Now, I would like to talk about what the prosecution has to do. And the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Chase Covington is guilty. Now, the key word here is reasonable. Not just any doubt, but reasonable doubt. And the definition of reasonable is fair, average. So what prosecution has to prove to you today are three different elements. And what we have proven today to you is the defendant was a public official. This we already know, considering Chase Covington's position at the Gambling Commission. The second is that the defendant received something of value or benefit in return for being influenced for the performance of an official act. We've proven this too. Chase Covington walked in with a briefcase that contained $200,000 and left with the briefcase a richer man. We know this because there was $200,000 that appeared in his bank account. And the third is that the defendant acted with the intent to be influenced. Now, there is no possible way that Chase Covington was unaware of his actions at this point. Chase Covington knew he was accepting a bribe on April 16th when he walked into the meeting with Avery Bancroft, where they sat down at a table with blind spots, placed their briefcases exactly where you could not see them, handed them off, and left. Now, who did we hear from particularly today? We heard from Danny Hoy, who was security guard for the Black Bear Casino. Now, Danny Hoy can tell you that he did indeed see both Bancroft and Covington walk in with briefcases, sitting in the blind spots from his camera view. We have Corey Hyde, Bancroft's assistant, who indeed told us that Bancroft was well aware of all the blind spots in the casino. They were both aware where to sit exactly to make this happen. And we also heard from our expert witness, Pat Sikorsky, who examined the briefcase retrieved from Avery Bancroft that had Covington's DNA all over it. The only explanation for this is that facts are facts, and that there has been contact made with the briefcase. Now, the defense here had the burden of trying to prove their defendant innocent, but they indeed did not succeed. because they failed to live up to that promise when they told you that they would prove innocence. We know that there was a question posed, and it was deal or no deal. And Chase Covington couldn't resist, because we know that Chase Covington works on a small government salary, and $200,000 appearing out of thin air was not something that he can say no to. So Chase Covington said deal. Thank you.
Defense, would you like opposing counsel to take that down?
No, they can leave it up. I'm going to, may I actually use it, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, from sure.
Okay. And just make sure you use their marker.
Yes, sir.
Okay.